Who used to make Christmas lists as a child? How long would yours be? Were you one of those children who figured that the longer the list was, the more gifts would arrive? Or were you more of the mindset that putting only one thing down on the list would ensure that the most important gift would be under the tree? Or maybe you grew up in a household that didn't do lists, where part of the fun was figuring out just what each person should receive. Of course, somewhere along the line, for most of us, the list changed, right? It went from being a list of gifts we were hoping to receive to a list of those to whom we wanted or needed to give something. Somewhere along the line, we came to realize that the gift was in the giving, and in the sweet knowledge that the gift, whatever its material value, represented a deep connection, a love shared, a commitment offered, a life's journey. I wonder how different those lists are for us this year. Like everything else that has been completely discombobulated by the pandemic, I suspect Christmas is unfolding and feeling like no other. I don't know about you, but I don't have lists of wants this year. No, this year, more than others, I have longings. Longings not for anything one could order online or charge on a credit card or wrap and put under the tree. I long to know what normal will be like in 2 or 3 years, and to know whether or not or how the effects of this pandemic will still be with us. I long to restore friendships lost because somehow we decided that differences in earthly beliefs were more important than common bonds of faith or life together. I long to assuage the grief of the thousands, the hundreds of thousands of people who have lost someone to this terrible disease. I long to give someone a hug or even a handshake. But I also have so much for which I'm grateful. Even some of the things that come alongside losses this year. I'm grateful for all the time Eli and I have had together because of our limited social life. I'm grateful for all the people who have learned how to use Zoom and get on YouTube and have decided not only to maintain but to deepen our shared life of faith despite the obstacles and the frustration with it all. I'm grateful that my mom died peacefully in her home, having talked to all of her kids and extended family during the week before her death. I'm grateful for the folks who keep our grocery store shelves stocked, who protect our cities and towns, who run into emergency situations when we all run away from them, who use their tremendous skills and training to heal us and bind up our wounds when we are sick. It all leads me to ask what you and I can do to celebrate, to really celebrate the essence of Christmas, to look past the aspects that aren't right, if you will, and gaze head on into the essence of this joyous feast. After all, you and I have gifts to share, and perhaps this year that is the most wonderful and wondrous part of the celebration. At coffee hour 2 Sundays ago, I asked people what gift they would suggest from someone who had no money to buy anything, but who wanted to communicate that they loved them. I was so heartened by the answers. They were something like this: whatever is going on, we can offer a thank you, an affirmation, a fond memory, a song, a poem, a dozen cookies, or just the recipe for our favorite cookies. Acceptance, welcome, laughter, tears, prayer. On one hand, he was just another baby born to a peasant couple, far away from their home in the simplest of circumstances. A blissfully simple, lowbrow, unimportant, uneventful event. Who were Mary and Joseph that they would be chosen to bring the Messiah into the world? They were nobody. And that's kind of the point. Mary and Joseph, no doubt, had longings for their broken world, just as we do for ours. I'm sure they longed for peace, for prosperity, for safety, and for health, just like we are doing so deeply this year, as all those seem so elusive. Mary and Joseph no doubt had aspects of their life for which they were grateful, even in such turbulent times for them, just like we do today. I'm sure they were grateful for each other, for the generous understanding of their families, for the safe and sound birth of their baby boy. Mary and Joseph, I imagine, wondered what they really had to offer to each other, to their families, and to the world around them as they made their way to Bethlehem and back to Nazareth. I have to believe that they saw what we can see, that the finest gift is the simple but courageous openness to and participation in God's unfolding work in and around them and us. A gift of surpassing value, even if not of monetary value. This Christmas, I hope we can simply be on our journey with Mary and Joseph. I hope we can own our longings, express our gratitudes, and celebrate our giftedness. We can actually do more than cope with the challenges and the obstacles the world is putting before us. We can know the peace of that Christ child and share it. We can be open to and be a part of the unfolding work of God's light breaking in this year more than ever.